Johnny, what's up?
What's up, brother?
How are you?
Good, you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
You know the drill, so let
Yeah.
us know who you are, what you do, and I guess how many kids you have.
Okay, I'm Johnny. I own and operate Brento Plumbing and Mechanical. We do residential, commercial construction, and service. And I've been in business just over 2 years now. I've been in the trade for 10.
Good for you. And you were telling me before you didn't think you were going to be a plumber. You wanted to be an electrician.
I wanted to, worked for a company. They shut down. And then I couldn't get my foot in the door with another company. So I was like a registered first-year apprentice, but trying to get work as a first-year apprentice with another company to sponsor me, basically.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find a job, so I gave up. Did landscaping for a couple of years, and then got in with a plumbing company, general contractors, but plumbers by trade. And then did that. And then when I was 3 years in, I'm like, hey, maybe I should start applying myself, to be a plumber. And I just went, I did it.
Was it easier to get a plumbing job than the electrician job?
So the electrical, I was signed up right away.
Okay.
When I started the plumbing company, I actually didn't get registered till after I was working. It was like 3.5 years.
Oh, after you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because in the trade, there's ratios now.
Yeah.
So they want you to have 1-to-1.
Yeah.
So that was a problem with us. We didn't have enough journeymen there.
Did they
have more apprentices?
Did they credit you your hours that you worked?
Yeah,
prior? Okay.
I did.
Usually they don't always do that. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So it took a long time to get signed up. And then, it's just a process.
Cool.
They didn't want to, I think a lot of companies, they don't want to do it because it's a risk for them. Once you get signed up, I guess they're worried you're going to go and work for somebody else or something, but it worked out. So
good for you. So how many, do you have employees? Is it just you?
One guy,
awesome.
One apprentice working under me right now.
So how does it feel? And you have obviously one child,
one son,
William.
Yeah.
So did you know you wanted to be a business owner? Like, why not just be a plumber and just come home?
I always wanted to. I grew up with entrepreneurs in the family, electrical specifically. And that was always my goal. I thought whatever I was doing, I was going to be an entrepreneur. I didn't know what. It just happened to be plumbing, but I always wanted to, yeah.
So what's the day in the life of a business owner plumber while having a family?
It's changed recently. I'm starting to take fitness more seriously. I let myself go, working long days, eating junk and stuff. So a day, I'm up at 4:45. I'm at the gym at 5:30 doing cardio.
Crazy, man.
And then I'm whatever. Then I go to work for 7:30. I work a day till 3:30, sometimes more.
Yeah.
And then I'll go home, see my son and my wife, and then I go back to the gym to do some weights.
You have a good partner, man.
I
to
do.
let you go
She's
to the gym
amazing.
twice, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. She knows it's important to me and she supports me. So
shout out to Brenda.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, then what happens if William cries at night and stuff? How does that affect your
Honestly,
work?
she takes care of it.
Okay.
She's a champ. And I am the deepest sleeper.
Oh yeah.
So it's actually kind of bad. I don't wake up for nothing in the beginning. Now he's 10 months, but when he was a baby, he's still a baby, but you know what I mean, right? I would wake up more because I was more alert. But now I know that she's got everything under control. I think I'm more relaxed.
You remind me of these memes where the guy's sleeping and the wife just slaps the guy in the face while he's sleeping. Wake up, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That has to piss her off at least once.
I'm not allowed. I can't say I'm tired.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Okay, but is that because she's on maternity leave?
Yeah.
How do you think that will change once she's not?
Well, so we've got help. Her mom's a nanny.
Okay.
So if she goes back to work, we're still working, seeing if that's gonna happen or not.
Sure.
Then maybe her mother will help us out a little bit, but I don't really want my son in daycare.
Yeah.
If I'll try not to.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you, man.
We'll see.
It's tough when 2 people work. And to deal with.
She works from home too, her job, which is a plus. And it's, it's flexible-ish.
Sure.
Because she doesn't have to work 9 to 5. She can work 12 to 8 or because she does mortgages. So she can be working with people on the other side of the country in Vancouver where the time is 3 hours back.
Yeah.
So it's flexible. She's not set. So she can schedule her appointments actually technically around her day if she was home with my son.
Fair enough.
So it's not too
So how does it feel like being a new father? Like, what are some of the things, if somebody wanted some insight on how old's William right now?
10 months.
Like, what can someone expect from basically when he was born to 10 months? And like, what's your level of like involvement and just how difficult is it?
It's not easy. From my experience, like, so from what I'm seeing with like our friends who are new parents and stuff, there's a wide range of like the scale of how good your kid is at sleeping, and everything is so varied. Like you might get a champ that just wants to sleep all night, and then there's William who he's up usually like a few times or more a night. So the sleep is,
Yeah.
it's being affected.
Did you guys do like sleep training?
Not like formally.
Okay.
She's online, looking up like methods to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
stuff. It's hard though,
Same
like,
with us. That's
yeah,
what we did.
yeah. So we never talked like there's sleep therapists or whatever, right? I've heard about them. We've never used one, but like she'll go online and there's like people on Instagram, for example, that's their profession. They'll post videos and tips and stuff like that. And we try. He's getting better. I find that he's getting better the older he gets, but it's been challenging. Like especially in the beginning, like, as a new parent, like, you make a funny sound when he breathes and you're like, you don't, should I be worried and stuff,
Yeah.
like, you don't know, right? But I feel we're getting more comfortable, but it's still,
Sure.
he's getting bigger, stronger now.
Cool.
You don't have to burp him. He can burp on his
Oh, that's
own. Like
nice.
these little
So
things,
that's
right?
the
That you
new
can
stage.
kind of, relax more, but it's still a lot.
I used to put a pacifier on Sophia's chest to make sure she was breathing. That was my way to
Okay.
figure out, like, because I was my first couple months, I wouldn't sleep because I would just always want to make sure she's breathing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Let's just put something on her
I would
chest.
listen so intensely,
Yeah.
like, just to see or look at his chest to see. They're so quiet, right?
So you sleep well.
I sleep well.
You eat well.
I eat well.
You look like you're going to the gym.
I am, yeah.
That's good, man. How about like your partner, Brenda? Like,
Mhm.
do you guys still get to see each other, or you guys?
No, we do. I would say like when I'm home after the second round of the gym, like then we're home all afternoon or evening together, kind of thing. We try to make a point to like kind of do stuff together still. During the week, it's crazy with work and
Yeah.
everything. The weekends are obviously you have a lot more time in the day to do things, but we're trying to like make date nights. You know what I mean? Like incorporate that because once that's important in a relationship.
So have
To
you
do
guys
those kind of things.
have you guys left William alone and
Yeah.
able to go out?
Yeah,
Okay,
we
cool.
have for sure. Yeah.
Like, will someone come
Not-
over while William's sleeping?
Or we'll bring William to her parents'
Okay.
house, and they'll watch him, and we'll go out or whatever we're doing.
Cool. And I
Yeah.
guess
Nothing long term, like just for the night.
Okay.
Or whatever. Yeah.
And he like, has he slept over
Slept over.
at like your parents or something?
Yes, I'm trying to remember. What did we do? Yeah, we I think we slept out just a couple times maybe.
Cool.
Yeah, and yeah, he's just there with her parents.
So do you ever feel like as a business owner, you are like want to come home? Like, have you experienced like where William was sick and you had to like leave work and stuff like that? Like,
Yes.
how does that look like?
Well, he got sick at, how old was he? He had his first fever at like 6 or 7 weeks, which was scary. But it was like short term. Obviously, we're worried. We're doing the thermometer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a red flag. We got to go. And then it went away. Then he got sick again. He had like some kind of eye infection. He was at Sick Kids for a few days. But like the process to get to Sick Kids, we were in and out of the hospital for like a week or two, just trying to see what was wrong. And we were kept getting told the same thing, but the problem was getting progressively worse. Like,
Yeah.
to the point where like finally a doctor's like, go to Sick Kids, and we did. We should have did that from the start,
Okay.
but it might not have done anything because the point when we were at Sick Kids, his eye was like,
Swollen.
yeah, it looked like he was like fighting Mike Tyson or
Oh,
something. Like,
brutal.
it was huge. Yeah, it looked really uncomfortable.
So do you feel like you have a lot of stress having a child, like especially like a newborn?
Honestly, my wife's the best, man. Like as far as
Okay,
the parenting goes, like I have like full trust in her and I know she's a good mother and I'm not worried like
cool.
being out of the house. But as far as like running a business and everything goes, it's challenging because you know how it is. There's always something to do.
Sure.
Like if you're not working, like if you're caught up on your invoicing and are you going to do something promotional or are you going to like, you can even go a step further and save work for another day to do it now. You know what I mean? Like there's always something to do when you're in business, right?
So how much flexibility do you have?
I'm not like, I wouldn't say like, I'm flexible if I have notice.
Okay,
If it's like day of kind of stuff, no. But if I can give myself some time, because I want to be as professional as possible
sure.
too. I don't want to cancel on somebody if I
Got
don't,
it.
you know what I mean? But if I have some notice, and I can work around it pretty well.
What are like the most, I guess, service jobs you do? Like, what is your, do you have a specialty?
Not necessarily. No, we
Okay,
do everything, anything plumbing related.
cool.
Yeah,
I know you visited like my building a lot.
many times.
Yeah,
You
that's
started me
cool.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's really wicked.
yeah.
So you have to do your own like like you do the marketing, you do.
Honestly, it's all been word of mouth. I don't
Okay,
really do marketing. And like I've talked to other guys, other plumbing owners and plumbing company owners, and they're surprised that I have as much work as I do without even like no marketing. But it's like guys like you and you put me in this chat and
it's
now
crazy
like
these
over
Facebook groups.
years,
Yeah,
it's like Johnny,
yeah.
Johnny's the
Johnny's
plumber,
the
called
guy.
Johnny, and it's like that, but like all over the place, right? So it's like just word of mouth is huge.
That's like the one tip I can give to like any, I guess, person in the trades is go into Facebook groups because every other post is like, I need a plumber,
Yeah.
I need an electrician. Is there this or that? And like, why not?
Well, as
And
soon
it's
as you start doing good
yeah,
work,
that's
and it's like you're
crazy.
always going to get recommended, right? And then in like in the case of like what, there's not too many things like variables that could go wrong generally, right? So it's like always like you're not like it's service work.
Yeah.
It's not like they're doing renovations. Well, I do actually have done some work in the buildings
Oh,
too, but
nice.
yeah, no, it's good.
Are there any like tips you could give, I guess, residents?
Yeah.
Because I know like sometimes we shave and like let the water run
Yeah,
down.
get strainers for your sink. Try not to limit the hair going down. Exercise your valve. Nobody does that.
What does that even mean?
So like your valve opens and shuts. Like open and shut it once in a
Part
while.
of the sink?
Sink, toilets.
Where
Yeah,
where is even like
shut
the
off valves like
oh,
beside your
you like
toilet.
shut them off?
Yeah,
For what purpose?
because there's a stem on the inside. So like you don't shut it off ever. It's going to get stiff. It's going to get
I see.
calcified. So if you work it, a little bit of oil or whatever on the stem, work it in and out once in a while, then you're preventing a leak potentially when you do decide to turn it off.
Cool.
Right. So stuff like that for, homes and buildings like condos and stuff. What else is there? Like turn off your things for winter, your valves, don't let that freeze.
Got it. If you own like a house.
Yeah.
Okay.
So nobody does maintenance stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And everyone calls when the problem, and then even they let the problem go on for so long. The cartridge problems, right?
Yeah, that's brutal. The
Yeah. So
showers.
yeah, people let it go for months before they address it. But if they did it right away, I could have pulled it out in 2 seconds, maybe.
But nobody actually like tell, and that's the thing. It's funny because like, do I even really want to own a house? Although this is not nothing really to do with the house, but there is maintenance. But I would never know that you need to change a cartridge in a shower. Who would?
You only know when it starts to leak and your water bill goes up. That's what makes you do it. If it,
Interesting.
yeah,
So what does a cartridge do?
the cartridge regulates the temperature, and then it allows the hot. It mixes the water basically. So when
Okay.
the rubber starts to go, that's the seal preventing the water, or makes the water come out your faucet.
Okay.
But when the seals go, it doesn't shut off properly. So you get a drip, drip, drip. That's what happens.
I'm assuming our cartridge was never ever replaced in my like
No.
rental.
Well, a lot of them, the original ones last a long time.
I see.
Like usually the first one in my experience lasts the longest.
Okay, like
Like
OEM.
let's say it's like 10, 15. Sometimes I've like 20-year-old cartridges have never been changed and then it gets changed.
Okay.
But as the body takes, gets calcification, gets worn out more, then like the next one's never as long as the original one. That just goes with time, right? It's just, you know.
What do you do in your house that like maintenance wise?
Oh, so I, to be honest, I'm that guy too, but I'm a
Okay.
plumber, so
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
fix it if I need to. I'm not like worried about a plumbing problem.
Okay. Okay. So you just wait for it to happen and then you
Yeah,
fix it
for sure.
basically.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Or if I
cool.
see something's getting old, maybe I'll change it, you know. But like usually you're doing something when it starts to leak. You know, your hose bib, you close it, it's still leaking, you know, like something's not working, then you need to get it addressed, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome, man. We'll go back to like maybe your apprenticeship. You were an apprentice
Yeah.
for 5 years.
No, for 8 years. No, yeah, almost 8 years. Because I got signed up 3.5 years in working as an apprentice, just not registered.
Okay.
So by the time I went to school the first time, it was like third year. No, sorry. I went to school 3 years in and I did my first level of schooling, I
Got
should
it.
say. So then it was a year. So by the time I was done my schooling, I was already complete my hours.
And you, okay, so you're working and doing level
Yeah, so you got
schooling
to go to school. It's like 1,800 hours, and then you're
a year.
eligible to be, go back on the list for school.
Cool.
So, but by the time I was done my 3 levels, I was already like doing plumbing for like 6 or 7 years or something like that.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Was it easy, like the CFQ exam and stuff like
No.
that? It was hard?
No, and I'm like looking online. I'm getting messages from people, and it's like it is really challenging because they don't prepare you. Like the test is so hard, and they tell you like there's going to be a formula sheet and all this stuff. It's not like that. They don't give you nothing. It's the questions are way off. So like Humber, I went to Humber. They're like if you see a question we didn't go over, like if you can like email us like after you've done your test and like give it to us so that we can put it into our practice exams. But yeah, it was really difficult. And like I know multiple people that have failed. Like I think you only get 3 chances. I don't know what the consequences after that, but I think I was told you only get 3 shots, and then I don't know what happens. But
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to start you from zero or something. But maybe you're going to have to do like another term of hours, like 1,800 or something.
Sure.
I'm just assuming that, but yeah.
Would you ever consider like starting your own like master class or how to like study for the 306A trade?
Personally, no.
No. Okay.
No. Humber, like the schools are trying. They like, they're not going to get the exact answers because it's when you're doing the test, you're stressed. You're not going to remember like when you leave there all those questions that you were, you know what I mean? Like
Totally.
your mind is somewhere else. You know how it is when
Yeah,
you're
yeah, of
tested, you
course.
can't think, right? But they try like Humber. I only went to Humber.
Okay.
So they do try. Like they give you like 5 different practice exams to do.
Cool.
And there's some stuff on it, but like you know how it is, nothing is exact. It's
Yeah,
not the
yeah.
same numbers. You still have to do some kind of calculations to get your answer. And yeah, no, the CFQ was extremely challenging for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the electrical has a high failure rate. I think it's 70% of people fail that.
I wouldn't
It's
doubt
something
it.
crazy.
Yeah, I think plumbing is probably the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how,
And you need a 75, I think, 75% to pass.
yeah, that's tough.
And there's 120 questions.
Well, I guess they don't want somebody who's not qualified to obviously.
But that's the thing is that we're all qualified to do the work. Some guys aren't book smart.
I see what you
You
mean.
know what I mean? Like I know great plumbers that can't pass the test. It's not about that they can't do the work. It's that they
Interesting.
can't test or you like there's some knowledge that you never even need to know.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Like so it's hard.
Yeah.
I know great plumbers. Like I know one guy, he's going back for his 3rd time now to test. And he's failed twice.
They
And he's
don't-
all stressed out. When you fail once, you're worried now. You're probably getting more thrown off.
Interesting. There's a non-for-profit called CCRW. I forget what it's called, but they help apprentices who like face barriers in the trade. One of them being like test anxiety. I'll send you the link, but they offer a lot of resources for like, for example, apprentices who are like colorblind. They'll buy glasses for them because in electrical, obviously, you need to have
Yeah, right.
vision, like color.
Right.
So they provide a lot of resources for people.
That might be good for people
Yeah,
to know.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty
for
awesome.
sure.
So how did you come up with your name?
So Brento. So my last name's Tobias.
Cool.
My wife's name's Brenda.
Oh, okay.
Brento.
Awesome.
Then the three, this was prior to William being born. It was my wife, me, and my dog Bruce.
Oh, cool. I
The
did not
three
know
of us, but
that.
it's a B.
That's dope, man.
Yeah,
Who designed the logo?
I did.
Come on.
Yeah.
Look at you, man.
Yeah.
Jack of all trades. Good for you.
Thank you.
So where do you see the company going?
I would love to be more of operator versus on the tools.
Okay.
The next step is to hire another journeyman, and then following that is another apprentice. Right?
So how do you even like manage that, even the risk of owning a business and like
You
having a
just have
family?
to. You first of all, you have to have enough work to
Okay.
need the extra help.
Okay.
Number one. And then there's obviously other costs associated with that. You have a guy, you need trucks, tools, blah, blah, blah. But if you have enough work and you're able to, because like, you know, if I'm working 14 hours a day with me and an apprentice, and then you're getting more work, then you can offset it, right? I started doing that. Like I have a guy working for me, and if I have a guy I sub work to, he's not an employee of mine,
Okay.
but I'll give him work to take the load off of me. But now I'm at the point where I'm going to have to hire another guy, right?
Got it.
And then when you have another guy, you can have another apprentice
So
because of the ratios.
so is it basically like you said you contract the work because some days you're busy and I'm assuming some days you're not?
Well, I'm doing it like if I want to work, I'm trying to work less so I
Okay.
can be more family oriented, like have more time with my family.
Sure.
So I can, as long as I get good guys, I can just delegate the work to them. You know what I mean?
Cool.
They take care of it. I want to work, you know, not necessarily less, but like be more on the back end, getting work, organizing the guys, setting them up kind of thing, and like having them take care of the work. So that's my next goal, is just to get more guys.
And where do you service? We didn't really talk about that.
Honestly, now Toronto's really messy to go to. I try not to go as far east as Toronto, but occasionally I do. I have some clients I come for. But basically from like, you know, West Toronto to all the way to Hamilton, Stony Creek area.
Cool.
I've been as far as Welland and Grimsby, and then I'll go as far north as like, you know, Caledon, Tottenham, all the way up to Highway 9 to, you know,
Good for you.
Milton, Halton, Peel, Hamilton, Toronto, York, all those, pretty much everywhere.
Everywhere. There we go. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Good for you.
yeah,
And you're running one truck? Like,
yeah,
does your apprentice go with you?
yeah.
You have to pick him up? How does that work?
Depends where we're working.
I see.
So we'll either meet somewhere, like carpool together. Like we'll meet at a point, and then I'll drop him off at the end of the day or whatever it is. Sometimes it's closer for him to go directly to the job. So it varies. It's on a day to day. We see what we're gonna do.
Good for you.
Yeah,
That's tough, man. I can't imagine.
it's
Right?
busy.
Yeah.
And then being 24/7, the phone never stops ringing too.
Do you have to offer 24/7
You don't
like
have
emergency
to.
service?
No,
Okay.
I chose to. And
Do you get a lot of calls?
on it, yeah, not so much after hours during the week. It's usually on the weekends I get the calls.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which is, I guess, a bit easier than,
it's better
yeah.
for sure. Unless it's the ones that you get like, you know, emergency ones, like backups or, you know, water pipe leaking. It's like 11 at night or something like that.
Yeah. So
Had my fair share of those.
would you recommend like any plumber to be a business owner too?
Recommend it
Yeah.
if
Like,
you can do it. Like I would never recommend, like, so I got my foot, or I got started by, I would do like my own stuff. I was working for a company, and then I was doing jobs after work.
side jobs.
And I used to call them side jobs.
Yeah.
And I just like recently come to the realize, like I say now, I was building my business.
Oh,
I don't
I
call them
like
side jobs
that.
anymore. 'Cause side
Hey.
jobs, whatever, but I was working towards something,
Cool,
right?
man.
So when I worked for a company, I was working after work till evening, weekends. So when I quit eventually, I was able, like I could already work full time plus on my own. So there was no transition. It's not like I quit my job. I want to be a business owner, but now what do I do? I wasn't
Got
starting
it.
from zero.
So how long did it take to to get a full day's work?
So I knew it was like that for years. I knew it was time when I was turning down jobs,
Okay.
right? Because if I'm working 7 to 3, and then I'm working 3 to 9 to 10 or 11, every day, and I could like that hours after work is fully booked, back to back jobs, or I'm doing renos and stuff. I can't take any more work. I'm
Wild.
like, contractors are calling me, I'm looking for a plumber. I'm like, I can't do it. And I did that enough times where I'm like, if I was on my own and I could say yes to all these people, and I had from 7 in the morning to work for myself, I could, you know what I mean? It's way more lucrative.
Every day I'm hustling. This
Yeah,
guy
you
is like on
know. So
another
I
level.
didn't start on my own when I was just, I didn't quit and say, "Okay, I'm a plumber now on my own, like call me," kind of thing. No, I was already like established in that sense where I could work full time easily by myself.